Guys, welcome to the James Bond Show. No fears, no limits, no substitutes, and I'm Krazy Kajeevie, and I'm back with my buddy Ruggles, Mr. Ruggles to you. I got Smooch and I got Scooby hiding here as well. They're hidden down there. And as you guys know, I love animals, I love my pets, and I like to include them in my videos. Makes a bit of fun, and plus, I like my pussy cat. And no, he's not white, and if I try and paint him white, he would claw my face off. Okay, guys, so today's video is brought to you by Roger Moore's Pelly Pelly White Teeth, because we are doing Live and Let Die, where his smile was living large, baby. Live and Let Die, 1973. Directed by Guy Hamilton. I really do feel like Blofeld stroking the pussycat like this. So directed by Guy Hamilton. Tom Mankiewicz was back writing the screenplay. Roger Moore was in for his first film. Jane Seymour plays Solitaire. Yaphet Kotto plays Mr. Big and Dr. Kananga. Julius Avery plays Teehee. And Jeffrey Holder plays Baron Samedi. And of course, Clifton James as the incredible Sheriff J.W. Pepper, and I'll get to him soon. So the film came out in 1973. It was a massive upgrade compared to Diamonds Are Forever, which I thought was woeful 2 years earlier. The film involves three British agents have gone missing, and James Bond has to go overseas. He starts off in America. He heads over to Jamaica, and he's got to find out what happened with these missing agents. You know, have they been killed? What's happened? And in the meantime, long story short, he finds out that Dr. Kananga is really Mr. Big, and Mr. Big is giving away heroin, going to flood the streets with heroin, so that way he can get people addicted to his heroin, and he's giving it away free, so they get addicted, and then he wipes out the other heroin dealers, basically. And then he can start selling his heroin and make big money. So it's not big global stuff like a lot of James Bond films are used to, but I like it. I like it for this reason. So that's the story of the film. Now, I'm going to go through, first of all, I'm going to go through a few issues I have with the film, because a lot of people hear that I'm doing this review for, of course, you know, I want people that haven't seen the film to listen along to this review, fantastic. But of course, being a James Bond channel, a lot of people have seen Live and Let Die many times over. So my issue with the film is we don't get a pre-title sequence with Roger Moore. And the producer's basis of that was, well, you know, we're just going to pretend he was always there. Sometimes the way they treat their audiences is kind of really stupid. You know, we're going to pretend he was always there. No. Sean Connery was there for 6 films and Lazenby was there. They should have, in my opinion, they should have absolutely included Roger Moore in the pre-title sequence. The pre-title sequence, I think, is one of the worst. Diamonds Are Forever has the worst pre-title sequence, in my opinion. It is shocking, and I should have explained more about that in my review of Diamonds Are Forever, but mud pies and oh my goodness, it was just terrible. It's just terrible. So the Live and Let Die one, when it gets to San Monique, okay, the visuals of San Monique are absolutely stunning, really beautiful, but the PTS itself is just a bit boring, and the whole electrocuting of the agent or the ambassador there through headphones, it was really bad. I really wish they stuck closer to one of my favourite Fleming novels, Live and Let Die. And I'm glad they brought pieces of Live and Let Die novel into License to Kill, which I'll obviously be reviewing when I get to that film as I'm going through them in order. My major problem with this film is Roger Moore. Yes, he brings in this, he's suave and he's fun. And Roger Moore, the one thing you've got to say about him, he was always so committed. Even when he got older, he was so committed to the roles. At 46 years of age, he looked great. He looked so much better than what Connery did. But the problem is, Bond, especially Live and Let Die, Fleming Bond had menace. Connery's Bond had menace, and Lazenby's Bond could handle himself. Roger Moore goes through the film like completely unaffected. There's really no scene where he's ever dangerous. He completely lacks danger. Now, you can be a Roger Moore fan and you can be a big Live and Let Die fan. I personally, I really enjoy the film. When I was growing up, I was a Fleming purist, so I hated this film. I hated Live and Let Die, I hated The Man with the Golden Gun, and I hated Moonraker. My opinion now has completely changed. I really do enjoy them, and I defend the film, and it's good fun. But you've got to be honest though, even if you're a Roger Moore fan, he's never menacing. Even when he holds the gun to Gloria Hendry, who plays Rosie Carver, who's a CIA and a traitor because she's scared by Mr. Big and now working for him, and he holds the gun to her, and she's like, "Oh, you wouldn't kill me after what we just did," and he's like, "Well, I wouldn't have done it before," but there's no menace there, and it's clear, and I think that I am absolutely right here, proven by the fact that in The Man with the Golden Gun, which I'll be reviewing in the next couple of days, that they toughened more up, and he's a way lot tougher there. And he keeps calling everyone darling, darling, darling. So that's my problem. Roger Moore is just not a believable Ian Fleming's James Bond out of the novels, but he does have a great screen presence, and he's so committed to what he does anyway. But for me, Roger Moore needed to play Bond, not his version of Roger Moore, because he really just, and I meant that wasn't a slip up. It was Roger Moore playing Roger Moore, not Bond, and it was just a slightly different version of him as a human almost. So there you go. Okay, other things that the pacing in the film, just some of the scenes go a bit too long, like the ski boat scene. Also, I really believe there should have been music added to that. Now, George Martin did the music, and some pieces are great. And then, like the last part of the boat chase, yeah, there's great music there by George Martin, but it needed more, and it needed a little bit probably faster cutting. I went back recently and I watched Live and Let Die in the last 3 weeks, and I've got to admit, I didn't enjoy it as much as I usually do, but people do go through phases, But yeah, it was just didn't enjoy it as much as I normally do. The boat sequence, the stunts are incredible, and here's for me the film highlight: Clifton James as Sheriff J.W. Pepper, and he has one of my favourite lines in all the Bond films, and that is, "What are you, boy? Some kind of doomsday machine?" That is the greatest line. I'll give Tom Mankiewicz that one. I think he put humour way too much ahead of substance sometimes, but I think he got that line great. It was such an absolute ripper, and Clifton James was so good. The biggest fault of this film, the ending with Mr. Big blowing up like a plastic, like it was like a condom with no filling. It was just, what were they thinking? And this is where the Bond producers sometimes got lazy. They should have looked at that and gone, okay, there's no blood, there's no guts, and the audience is not going to buy this. And still today, people pick on this. So yeah, that was not a good decision on their behalf to rush that and do it with a big plastic balloon type thing that looked nothing like Yaphet Kotto. The great points about the film, I love Jane Seymour in it. She made a screen acting debut, I believe, in this film. She is just stunning. She's gorgeous. Does she have a huge role in the film? Not really. Does she do a lot? Not really, but she doesn't need to because she's virginal, she's quiet, she's shy, but she just looks stunning and she looks so pure. So, and of course the great line, well, there's no point going off half-cocked. What a ripper. That is great. So overall, I do like the film. Oh, and David Hedison plays Felix Leiter here, and he's got great camaraderie, and he already had a relationship, a great friendship with Roger Moore. And yeah, he's a fantastic Felix Leiter. Coral Jr. is on the scene, which I thought was a really lovely touch. I like having Coral there, especially when we're back in Jamaica where it all started in 1962 with Dr. No. The ending with Baron Samedi, some people, why is Baron Samedi on the train? I love it. I absolutely love it. I have to say too, his visual look and the whole look of Sam Monique and that music, when we get to Sam Monique and that stage setting, I love it. It gives, obviously the Bond film a real kind of voodoo, almost like a Halloween look. And when Halloween's on, this is my go-to Bond. I put this one on at Halloween. Every Halloween I play Live and Let Die, and I do get a great bit of fair bit of enjoyment from it there. Guys, that's been my review. Hope you've enjoyed it. And please, in the comments below, let me know. And be realistic about it. Don't be biased, but let me know what you think of the film. I give Live and Let Die, I give it 3.5 stars out of 5 Kajeevie stars. I do enjoy this film. It is an absolute ripper. It's a lot of fun, but let's be honest, Roger Moore's not very threatening. He's not Ian Fleming's Bond, but it's still a great, entertaining piece of cinema and a James Bond classic. Please subscribe, guys. Oh, tap the bell too, and that way you'll get notifications when I upload videos, and they're coming thick and fast over the next few days. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Thanks for joining us. Till next time, keep on bonding.